Playing in left field, number 1, Caden McNeil. Playing at first base, number 20, Israel Wassay. The second baseman today is number 42, Owen Beatrice. Class A third base. First base is Anthony Seminara. Playing at shortstop, number 12, Montgomery Hart. Behind the plate is number 4, Mason Ritzema. And on the mound for the Kingsmen, number 22, Noah Entricken. The Kingsmen are led by head coach Joe Hudak and assistant coaches Preston Hudak, Nick Osborne, and Weston Walling. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise and gentlemen remove your hat as we honor America and the brave men and women who serve and protect her with the play of our national anthem.
We have reached the final game of our 3-game series. The Kingsman prospect look for the sweep against Dominion Sports Collective. It's Kingsman Baseball back on the air. Here from Gardner-Webb University in Boiling Springs, North Carolina, I'm Griffin Leonard saying good morning and welcome to Bill Masters Field here at Gardner-Webb University. The Kingsmen looking for their third in a row against DSC. We had a couple of really fun games yesterday. We'll talk about that more later. But first, let's take you through the defensive alignment for the Kingsmen. In the outfield, Caden McNeil in left, Ryan Waters, the center fielder, and Hudson Entricken in right. Izzy Classe is at the hot corner, Montgomery Hart, the shortstop. Owen Beatrice is at second, and Anthony Seminara is at first. Mason Ritzema, for the third game in a row, is catching for the Kingsmen. And on the mound, Noah Entricken, the left-hander, recently committed to Gardner-Webb University. And it's his first start here at Bill Masters Field at his future home since he made that commitment. He will face Nick Gaines, Jackson Milan, and Brady Elrod. 1, 2, 3 in the DSC order.
DSC number 1, Nick Gaines.
Walk you through the whole batting order in one moment. The Kingsmen back on top of the ABA, and both aces are on the mound in the series finale. Left on right matchup to start things off. And Entricken, his first pitch to Nick Gaines. Outside corner fastball for strike number 1. Nick Gaines, the extra hitter, has batted leadoff in all 3 games of this series. Had a hit and reached on an error in yesterday's second game. There's a swing and a miss, 87 on the gun, 0-2. Entricken pitching against Gaines. Jackson Milan, the right fielder, is on deck. Entricken starting strong, and here's his 0-2. Just outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. A great pitch from Entricken just off the plate. One ball and 2 strikes out of the windup. The lefty strikes out Nick Gaines for out number 1 here in the first inning. Full order for DSC. Gaines, then Jackson Milan, Brady Elrod in the 3.
Jackson
Then it's Mackay Bullock, Jude Burr, and Tyson Pennypacker, 4, 5, 6, before Steele Smith, Braden Walton, Owen Klimek, and Christian Newsome round out the 10 order for DSC, looking for their first win here at Gardner-Webb against the Kingsmen. There's a strike to start things off against Milan. The DSC Wolves out of Chester, Virginia, swept the Kingsmen 2 weeks ago. The Kingsmen trying to do the same exact thing to Dominion here at home. 0-1, the pitch from Noah. That tails away from the plate, 1-1. One and 1 the count. And a fastball at the knees. Called a strike to go ahead 1-2. This is Noah's 8th start of the season. He's 3-0 on the year. With that last out, 25 innings whole on the season. 1-2 away from the zone. Ritzma gloves at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Milan in the series is 1 for 6, but he's reached on the single and then a couple of hit by pitches. 2-2. And that's a flare, third base side. Hart backhands and loses it in the infield. Jackson Milan reaches with 1 out on an error to put a runner on first.
Now batting number 15, Brady Elrod.
So Brady Elrod up to the plate in the 3 spot. The center fielder batting with a man on first and 1 away. Entricken's first pitch out of the stretch is a fastball in there for a called strike. There's a good chunk of the season that Noah Entricken's ERA was under 1 for the Kingsmen. That ERA now just above that, 1.13. Runner on the move, squaring to bunt, Elrod. He pulls back, throw down to second. It's a good one from Ritzma, and the call is safe at second. Milan just got in there, and I think he's hurt. Jackson Milan is up to his feet, but he's holding his right shoulder. Dove hard into that second base bag. Coaches Charlie Dragum and Tyler Kane out to check on their right fielder. So Milan looks okay to continue in this ball game. Credited with the stolen base, and he is in scoring position. It was a great throw from Ritzma. Couldn't have done much else to try and get the speedster. But he's on second with one away, and it's a good thing to see him remain in this ball game. Entricken is ahead of Elrod 0-2. He glances at second, comes home, and blows the fastball by him at 88. Strikeout number 2 for Noah Entricken here in the first inning. And there are 2 away for Makai Bullock.
Now batting number 3, Makai Bullock.
Similar spot that Bullock saw himself in his first at-bat in yesterday's ball game. A runner on base because of an error on the shortstop. And he came up with 2 outs yesterday and hit a 2-run home run to left field. See what he does here against Entricken. Noah fires home, misses inside edge, 1-0. In the bottom of the first, we'll see Caden McNeil, Ryan Waters, and Owen Beatrice for the Kingsmen. First 3 out of 10 in the order, an unchanged batting order, top to bottom from yesterday. 1-0. Around went Bullock. I think that pitch was in the zone regardless. It's 1-1. Reminder of the infield, Class A Hart, Beatrice, and Seminara. And then in the outfield, McNeil, Waters, and Entricken. Outfield hasn't been tested yet. Bullock trying to change that in the cleanup spot. 1-1. Inside again. 2 balls and 1 strike. I believe each of the pitches Entricken has missed the zone. He's filled up the zone here in the first inning, but each of the times he's missed the zone, it has been to the right-hand side. The inside to a right-hand hitter. Entricken out of the stretch. 2-1 pitch. Right down the heart of the zone. It is 2-2. Entricken has 2 strikeouts in the inning already. 44 this season in total. He has filled up the zone. 44 strikeouts to 13 walks. And the 2-2 pitch. In the dirt. Try to get him at the change. The count is full. Jude Burr would be the 5th hitter to the plate if DSC keeps the inning alive. Full count. And a foul ball off the bat of Makai Bullock, the third baseman, fighting hard here in the first. Bullock had that home run. He had a productive day at the plate in Game 2 of the doubleheader. Saw him go 2 for 3, a single, a home run. He had a fly out and a walk, reached through the 4 times he was at the plate. Runner still on second in Jackson Milan, and a 3-2 offering from Entricken. And it's high for a ball. Bullock walks with 2 away. There are runners on second and first for Jude Burr.
Now batting number 4, Jude Burr.
First pitch here to Jude Burr will be the 20th of the inning for Noah Entricken. A couple of runners on here, but nothing on the scoreboard yet. First pitch, high of the letters, 1-0. It's Entricken's first start on the mound in a couple of weeks. Did not pitch in Houston, dealing with a back issue, but he told me today he's all good to go. He feels great. 1-0. Outside, and he is behind 2-0 now. His last start came against DSC in Virginia, that series opener. That was the 11-inning thriller that saw DSC walk away with the win in extras. Hitters count for Burr, 2-0. And high, now 3 in a row off the plate for Noah Entricken. Tyson Pennypacker is on deck. And Entricken loses him. Couple of walks here in the first, and the bases are loaded. In that start against DSC on the 18th of March, Entricken only gave up 1 hit, 2 earned runs, and those came because of walks. Ended up walking 5 while striking out 5. Far and away the most in that category we've seen from Entricken, who has been very good at keeping the ball over the plate. There's one down the middle, and Pennypacker empty on the swing, 0-1. Bases are loaded in the first. DSC in this series has scored 2 runs in the first inning in both of the first 2 games. 0-1. Outside corner just missed it, and the count is even. Once again, bottom 1, we'll see McNeil, Waters, and Beatrice. Kingsman trying to keep it knotted at zeros. 1-1 pitch. And Entricken, a swing and a miss. High heat, 1-2. Two strikeouts, 2 walks, and a ground ball. The runner reached on an error. Entricken with the chance to get out of it. 1-2, he struck him out. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Noah Entricken, and it is 0-0 as we head to the bottom of the first. Prospect Baseball returns after this on the Kingsman Baseball Network. Here we go for the bottom of the first. The Kingsmen hitting for the first time today. Stranded, the bases loaded in the top of the first. Entricken with 3 strikeouts in his return to the mound. Katie McNeil leads things off against Will Hodges. And he's swinging away at the first pitch he sees. A foul ball that bounced back into the field of play. It is McNeil, Waters, and Beatrice. Then Israel Classe, Montgomery Hart, Hudson Entricken. Bottom 4 of the order, Mason Ritzma, Anthony Seminara, Tristan Harless, and Ashton Bowes. Same exact 10 in the order. Everything the same positionally. Harless, the DH for the pitcher. Ashton Bowes, the extra hitter. 0-1, nobody out. And McNeil digging in as the pitch flies in from Hodges, just misses the zone. Will Hodges, the Liberty commit. The Kingsmen saw him on the first game of that DSC Kingsman series back in Virginia. That ball's off the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. All 3 pitches from Hodges have registered as 90.
I will.
See if he goes to the fastball again here against McNeil. 2-1. Ground ball back up the middle. Second baseman ranging over. Walton has it. Throws to first, and that is not in time. Caden McNeil with an infield hit. He did it yesterday. He does it again today, and has the leadoff hitter on. The Kingsmen off and running here in the first inning. McNeil had a couple of stolen bases over the course of the header yesterday, Stole 3 in total. He was 3 for 4. He's back diving in as they throw over to first to check on him. We'll see if he takes off at some point. Will Hodges, in his last start against the Kingsmen, 5 2/3, 4 runs, but only 1 of them was earned. Gave up 4 hits, 4 walks, struck out 9. Waters squared temporarily, pulled it back, and he is ahead 1-0. One ball, no strikes, nobody out here in the bottom of the first. McNeil takes off, and a foul ball ripped third base side. 1 ball and 1 strike. So the count is even here. Hodges working out of the stretch. McNeil dives back to first. Hodges with a nice toss over that direction. Ryan Waters made some really nice plays in the field yesterday. He also looked good at the plate. 1 for 2. He reached 3 times. A single and a couple of walks. McNeil running again. Pitches outside on 1 hop. The throw from Newsome is not in time. Collected by the second baseman. And McNeil has a stolen base. Into scoring position goes McNeil. He's on second with nobody out. Ryan Waters has himself ahead 2-1. Outside corner just missed. It is 3-1 now. Three-one pitch. Waters into left center field. Racing back is Klimek. Toward the gap, he will not get there. That ball bounces twice and hits the wall. Here comes McNeil. Ryan Waters scrambling to third. The throw comes in high, and the tag is not in time. RBI triple Ryan Waters, and it's 1-0. The Kingsmen aggressive on the bases, trying to get the extra bag, and by the slimmest of margins, Ryan Waters has his first triple of the season. Extra base hit number 2 for the Kingsman center fielder, and they strike first here in Boiling Springs. Big shot off the bat of Waters to open the scoring. Here is Owen Beatrice. First pitch from Hodges, and he cuts and misses. Big day yesterday for OB. Had a couple of doubles, including a bases-clearing double into the right center field gap. Drove in 3 runs and tied the game at 5. 0-1 is the count. Runner on third. Third baseman is in at the grass. And Beatrice behind 0-2. In that game in Virginia with Hodges on the mound, Hodges and the DSC staff had Beatrice's number. It's not something we see too often. OB struck out 3 times in that ball game. He's behind 0-2 here with nobody out. And Hodges misses inside, running in on the hands. 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's a swing and a miss as Beatrice goes down, keeping that runner at third.
Now batting number 20, Israel Klose.
So here's Izzy Klase. Corners are in here with one away. Middle infield stays back, and Klase rips it at the first baseman. They throw home, and Ryan Waters is a sitting duck. That ball was hit 100 miles an hour off the bat of Izzy Klase. Of course, we don't actually have the metrics on that. But Klase ripped that baseball right at first. Unfortunately, the first baseman, Penny Packer, had it cleanly and threw home to get Ryan Waters at the plate, who was moving on contact. So the fielder's choice puts Klase on first. Here is Gummy. Quick throw over to first, and they've got Klase picked off, and the inning is over. The inning unraveled in a hurry, and the Kingsmen get just one, but it is one to take the lead. It's 1-0 here at Gardner Webb. We'll be back for the second. Prospect Baseball returns after this on the Kingsman Baseball Network.
See the top of the set, number 10, Steel Smith.
Here we go in the second inning. Noah Entricken back out there to face a lefty, Steel Smith. The designated hitter is into the ball game. Facing Entricken to start the second, and he rips a line drive toward the Kingsman bullpen to make it 0-1. A 1 pitch outside corner to make it 0-2. Oh, 2 with nobody out. Curveball, got him. Fourth strikeout of the game already for Noah Entricken. And he is dealing to this DSC hitting lineup. Braden Walton, the next hitter.
Now batting number 22, Braden Walton.
Once again, the 8th start of the season for Noah Entricken. Starts out Walton with a fastball outside. Entricken has at least 5 strikeouts in each of his 6 starts here in the United States this spring. That fastball in at the knees to make it 1-1. He has 4 already in an inning and a third, all 4 outs via the K. 1-1. It's in there to make it 1-2, a couple in a row against the 8-hole hitting Braden Walton started 2 of the 3 games at second base. Nick Gaines starting the other one at the second base bag. Walton's been in the lineup all 3 games. 1-2, he strikes out. There's another one for Entricken, and make that 5 in 7 straight starts.
Now batting number 24, Owen Clinic.
He's averaging 6 strikeouts a game this season. His highest mark coming on February 19th against Combine Academy in Lincolnton, where he had 10 of them. He's halfway there here in the second. First pitch fastball low to Owen Klimek, the left-handed hitting left fielder. Klimek had a sacrifice fly in the 7th, chops one to first. That ball is in fair territory. The first ball put in play by this DSC team since the error in the first inning, but it's a ground out to Seminara to end the frame. 3 up, 3 down for the Kingsmen in the top of the second. They'll hit once again after this on the Kingsman Baseball Network. Bottom 2, the Kingsmen back at the plate. Montgomery Hart leading off the second. Will Hodges blows a fastball by him at 89 to start the frame. Hart was at the plate when the first inning ended. Izzy Classe picked off at first to wrap up the inning. So Hart back out there to start the second. He'll be followed by Entricken and Ritzma. 0-1. Backdoor slider outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Through the first inning for Will Hodges, 1 run on 2 hits. As a strikeout. Izzy Classe ripping a ball to first, unable to get the run in there. 1-1. And there's Hart with the ground ball to second. Walton has it and throws to first for out number 1.
Now batting number 23, Hudson Entricken.
Hudson Entricken starting things off, at least trying to for the Kingsmen here with 1 away in the second. Hodges settling in here. He's gotten his last 3 after the first 2 hitters reached with a hit. It was a McNeil single and a Waters triple. Since then, a strikeout, a fielder's choice, and a ground out. 1 ball and no strikes. That one in there for a called strike. Entricken, the right fielder for the KBA, just as he was yesterday. Now ahead 2-1. He had a couple nice plays in the field. Did have one that it was a liner that skipped off the turf and got by him. Ended up having a single turn into a triple. And Coach Hudak and Hudson in the dugout just walking through a couple of tips as far as ways to approach fielding that ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. But Entricken, fresh off of a productive day at the plate, didn't have a hit, but he did move a couple of runners over with the sacrifice. Two balls and 2 strikes here. Bases clear, 1 away. Hodges looking for his 4th hitter in a row. And strikes out Entricken on the inside fastball.
Now batting number 4, Mason Ritzema.
2 strikeouts already for the DSC starting pitcher Will Hodges, averaging over 6 strikeouts a game. Had 13 last time out for the Wolves. That clip in his last 3 is good for over 9 a game. First pitch, low in the dirt. Ritzema letting it go. The catcher seeing Christian Newsome, the catcher behind the plate for the Wolves, have to do a little bit of work here. 2 down in the bottom of the 2nd. The 3rd will see Newsome, Gaines, and Milan. 10-1-2 on the way for DSC. 1-0. Missed the outside corner with that fastball, and Ritzema is ahead 2-0 here. Two balls and no strikes. Similar spot and called a ball. 3-0. The Kingsmen can get Ritzema aboard. It'll be Seminara with 2 down. And before the 3-0 pitch, here comes the DSC assistant coach Tyler Kane out for a quick mound visit. Recap of yesterday for you while we have a break. 13-4 win in game number 1 yesterday. The Kingsmen back and forth with DSC early on in that contest, and then they pulled away big time toward the end of the ball game. They scored 5 runs in the 4th, 6 runs in the 5th, pulled away and won by 9. Then game 2, another back and forth thriller. Just like game 1 in Virginia, game 2 of this series went to extras. The Kingsmen grabbed 4 runs in the 5th to take their first lead. Then the teams traded 2 in the 7th to force an 8th inning where Tristan Harless hit a walk-off home run. 3-0. Outside corner, 3 balls and 1 strike. If you missed that home run live, I know there's videos all over Instagram and on Twitter. You can go to the Kingsman Baseball Academy social media channels, catch up on what you've been missing. Big win yesterday for the KBA. 3-1 pitch to Ritz, and it's a walk. First walk issued by Will Hodges, who had a couple of free passes against the Kingsmen.
Now batting number 5, Anthony Seminara.
That's the first walking lead for him.
The Kingsman number 11, Landon Catani.
The Kingsmen have a courtesy runner in for the catcher, Dino Catani, as he often does, running for Mason Ritzema. So here is Seminara. Catani on first. Hodges out of the stretch. And Seminara hits one foul. That ball hit off of the underside of the roofing here at Bill Masters Field and then dropped down into the seats. Oh, 1 count. And the pitch. Slider dipped away from the zone, 1-1. Kingsmen have the 1-0 lead, ahead 2-0 in the hit category. 1-1. And that's outside, 2 balls and a strike. Seminara was up yesterday in that second game in a huge spot, and a chance to walk it off for the Kingsmen with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th yesterday. Ultimately unable to wrap up the game in that 7th inning, but as mentioned a few minutes ago, the Kingsmen able to get it done in the 8th with the walk-off big fly. Seminara walking over to Coach Hudak. Want to make sure they're on the same page regarding any signs that could be on. See how Will Hodges and Christian Newsome end up factoring that in to their plans here against Ant. Catania has not budged off of first since coming into the game as a courtesy runner. Hodges takes a breath, 2-1. And that's ripped into right. Seminara down in front of Milan. Base hit for Ant. And they're second and first with 2 outs. Third hit of the ball game for the Kingsmen off of Will Hodges. And the KBA is rolling here at Gardner-Webb.
Now batting number 16, Tristan Harless.
Hey, well, you're good.
Tristan Harless, his first at-bat since the memory he made yesterday. Second and first with 2 outs. Jumps all over the first pitch, flares it into shallow left. That ball hooking down and fair. Bouncing into the corner. 1 run scores. Here comes Seminara getting the wave from Coach Hudak. The throw comes in as Harless goes all the way to third. And he's in there with the triple. Tristan Harless, welcome to the show. A walk-off home run yesterday. And he has found his stroke at the plate with a 2-out triple to make it 3-0. Ashton Bowes up with 2 away to try to keep things moving. Runner on third and 2 outs. Outside for a ball. The Kingsmen now 3 runs on 4 hits. It's the second time in as many innings that the Kingsmen have had a single immediately followed by a triple. And it has enabled them to take the early lead on the Liberty commit. 1-0. Bubba swings through it. 1-1. Bottom of the order up for the Kingsmen. If they get another hitter here in the second, Caden McNeil will come to the plate for the second time. Otherwise, it'll be Newsome, Gaines, Milan in the third. Hodges, the 1-1. At the knees, and he's ahead 1-2.
You got it, Will.
1-2. A foul ball. 36 pitches for Will Hodges through an inning and 2/3. 22 this inning. This will be number 23. Bowes trying to drive in one more. At the bottom of the Kingsman order. 1-2. And he strikes out, unable to catch up to the fastball, and the inning is over. But the Kingsmen grab 2 more. A Tristan Harless triple. 2 extra base hits in a row for the West Virginia native. And the Kingsmen lead 3-0 as we go to the third here on the Kingsman Baseball Network.
Third, number 12, Christian Newsom.
Big start for the KBA here in the series finale against Dominion Sports Collective. The Kingsmen 10-3 in the ABA, top of the prospect division, looking to sweep the team that swept them. Entricken back on the mound, and he delivers a first pitch fastball that came in a little bit slower than we'd seen from him the majority of his appearance today. It's still good enough for a swinging strike against Newsom, the 10-hole catcher. 0-2 now. Both those pitches coming in the mid-8s. No one has started throwing quite yet, but there are a couple of members of the DSC team down in the bullpen. 0-2, a 3-pitch strikeout. 6 in the ball game for Noah Entricken. One away here in the top of the third.
Nick Gaines.
So the first time through the order is complete. Nick Gaines struck out to begin this game, and he is up for the second time. The last time that Entricken saw DSC, he pitched 3 1/3, 5 walks, 5 strikeouts. He loops in a curveball here. He already has 6 strikeouts in 2 1/3. Here I guess it's still the morning, just about noon here in Boiling Springs, North Carolina. 0-1. Back to the breaking ball. This time he spiked it. So 4/9 of the way to immaculation. Time called by Nick Gaines, the extra hitter. Went 1 for 3 in the second game yesterday. He skies one first base side, hooking into the DSC bullpen and beyond it. Bounces out of the ballpark here. It is 1-2. One away here in the top of the third. Entricken back and better than ever after missing a short amount of time. Just making sure his back was all right. 1-2. Fly ball right field. This one playable. Seminara backpedaling. Over to it is Beatrice. Oh, and Beatrice makes the catch in foul territory. Reaching out with his left hand. 2 away.
Now batting number 2, Jackson Milan.
First pitch, a ball to Jackson Milan. Two balls and no strikes. Entricken behind in the count to Milan. He reached on an error. 1 of 3 from the Wolves of Dominion Sports Collective to have reached the first time through the order. He's ahead 2-0 here and swings through. Had the green light on the fastball, but couldn't catch up to it. 2-1. Milan, the only hitter to reach the first time through the order by putting the ball in play. The other 2 were on the walk. Entricken, left-hand side, out of the windup. 2-1 pitch. Back-to-back swings and misses for Jackson Milan. In the bottom of the third, it'll be the top of the order for the Kingsmen. McNeil, Waters, and Beatrice, who combined for 2 hits their first time through. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 away here. Entricken trying to get them all. There's a ground ball, third base side, gloved. Well, not really gloved. He doesn't have a glove on. Charlie Dragum, the third base coach, down the line, making the snag just off the screen here for you.
But my dad doesn't pick them up because I want people to get out.
2-2 after the foul ball. Curveball did not get it on the outside corner. Entricken walked a couple of steps off of the mound. I think he gave the home plate umpire a quick apology. Just off the plate. 3-2, full count here to Milan. And he missed a 2-out walk. Nearly had the strikeout, then he cannot find the zone at 3-2.
Now batting number 15, Brady Elrod.
So a 2-out walk for Brady Elrod. The 3-hole comes up 0 for 1. Trying to find a way to get DSC back into this one. They have a base runner for the first time since the first when they stranded the bases loaded. The lefty fires out of the stretch, and a swing and a miss. Entricken was hitting the high 8s early on in this appearance. Saw 88, might have seen 89 at one point. Settled in comfortably 85, 86 here in the third. Slight delay in right field. There is a ball on the field. Mentioned it earlier, some bullpen action starting up for DSC. It looks like Owen Klimek, who started the game in left, may be warming up to come in, or maybe he may just be the one grabbing that ball. But Klimek has pitched 6 times this season, 12 innings out of the pen for the DSC Wolves. See how long we see Will Hodges today. The Kingsmen have seen him better today than they did the last time. 0-1, a throw over to first. Entricken trying to get out of this third inning after dealing his third walk of the game this morning. Final game for the prospect team this week. Varsity on the road tomorrow. We'll talk about that more here in a little bit. Entricken is ahead 0-1 to Brady Elrod, and another throw to first. Seminara a couple steps to his right to make sure that one stayed in the infield. Entricken comes set at the waist. 0-1 pitch. Floats the curveball in there at 73. And it is 0-2. Brady Elrod, a day to forget yesterday, went 0 for 5. And on the mound, he came in to attempt to close that game in the 7th, walked 2 men aboard, and then was promptly pulled. Those 2 runs scored. 0-2. And it is 1-2 now. Elrod did make a couple of nice catches in center, though, over the course of the doubleheader yesterday. The future Hokie of Virginia Tech. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Entricken looking to escape the third. Runner on the move. And a fastball struck him out. Lucky number 7 for Noah Entricken. And Elrod down swinging for the second time. It remains 3-0. We head to the bottom half here on the Kingsman Baseball Network. Bottom of the third, top of the order here at Gardner-Webb University. Beautiful sunny day. as we approach noon local. Caden McNeil tries to square and bunts it foul, 0-1. McNeil, for the second time this series, found himself an infield single when he came up to the plate in the first. Hit one up the middle. The second baseman, Walton, made a nice backhand stop, but didn't have the time to throw out McNeil, who hustled out the 90 feet. 0-1 away from the hitter, 1 ball and 1 strike. McNeil trying to reach against Hodges, but he's behind 1-2. That fastball on the outside edge. McNeil reached on the single, then came around to score when Ryan Waters laced the triple into left center field. 2 triples already for the Kingsmen. 2 of their 4 hits, 3 baggers. 1-2. And a foul ball. McNeil in left, batting leadoff. Has batted leadoff in all 3 games of this series. 1-2. He took it low. That's a good take on the slider. Infield for DSC, Bullock, Burr, Walton, and Pennypacker, with Newsom doing the catching for Will Hodges, the right-hander. And time called. Might have been a bug the way Newsom and the home plate umpire both kind of scrambled away and batted their hand around. Klimek, Elrod, and Milan in the outfield. 2-2 to the leadoff man here in the third. McNeil to short. Hit hard to Burr, and Jude Burr throws out McNeil for out number 1. You know, he'll leg out a lot of them, but he doesn't have much of a chance. I don't think anybody has much of a chance to leg out a ground ball like that one. So 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Ryan Waters, who started his day strong with a triple, up for the second time. Backdoor slider, or maybe that was the fastball. It was outside edge, didn't get the call. Had a little bit of break on it and perhaps a cutter, but it came in the 80s, a little bit faster than his sliders have. That's high for ball 2. Outside for ball number 3. Anthony Seminara has walked down to the bullpen for the Kingsmen. Not sure if we'll see him pitch at some point today. Made his first appearance in a Kingsman uniform on Monday at the varsity level. The Kingsmen experimenting with some other pitching options. And Waters walks himself aboard here with 1 away. Took the 3-1 high and outside. Owen Beatrice will hit with a man on first and 1 out.
Now batting number 42, Owen Beatrice.
Throw over to first to check on Waters. Got her on the bases quickly, hustling to third. Came in, well, tried to come in to score in the first, but was thrown out at the plate on the fielder's choice hit by Izzy Classe, who's on deck. First pitch to OB, and he rips it foul. Checked on Waters a couple of times now. 0-1 is the count to Owen Beatrice. Strikeout so far for the second baseman. 3 hits in the second game of yesterday's doubleheader. Runner on the move. Swing and a miss. Throw down on one hop from Newsome's a good one. And it is in time to get Ryan Waters. Just in time to get Waters trying to steal second. Out number 2 here in the inning. As Newsome delivers a one-hop throw on the money. It was a good jump from Waters. And it was certainly close, but the umpire with the out call. So it's 0-2 to OB. Beatrice trying to keep the inning alive. Oh, 2. There's a fly ball foul. Remains 0-2.
Be right to it.
It's a ball taken by Beatrice, and the count 1-2. And now 2-2. If the inning continues after Beatrice, we'll see Izzy Classe for the second time. Otherwise, in the fourth, it will be Bullock, Burr, and Pennypacker against Noah Entricken, who has been phenomenal on the mound today for the Kingsmen. 2-2 to OB, and Beatrice lifts one foul to keep things rolling. Full count. That came in at 81 against Owen Beatrice, trying to reach for the first time today. No runs in the inning for the Kingsmen. They scored 1 in the first, 2 in the second. There's a line drive foul. It remains 3-2. Three-two. And that ball off the end of the bat. Beatrice really making Will Hodges work here in the third. This will be the 20th pitch of the inning for Will Hodges, who is nearing 60 on the game overall. Kingsman making him work. 3-2. And he gets the call on the outside corner to get Beatrice and end the inning. We head to the fourth. It remains 3-0. The Kingsmen leading DSC here at Gardner-Webb. We'll be right back on the Kingsman Baseball Network. Back here in the top of the fourth, Entricken on the mound behind now 2-1. Apologies for getting the audio back on a couple pitches late. Other duties temporarily called. But we are back here. Noah Entricken on the mound against Mackay Bullock, who walked, was stranded at second in the first inning. 2-1. There's a line drive right field, hooking toward the corner. Entricken racing after it, makes the catch for out number 1. Noah Entricken has been a star on the mound today for the KBA. 7 strikeouts so far. He has walked 3, but he's managed to keep runs off of the scoreboard. Entricken pitching now against Jude Burr, who also walked his first time, was stranded at first when the inning concluded. First pitch from Entricken. There's a swing and a miss. 0-1. Noah finding his groove here at his future home. Mentioned it earlier, but this last weekend officially announcing his commitment to Gardner-Webb University to play for Coach Chester and the Running Bulldogs. It's in the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike. I guess that's a perk of playing your home games here at a collegiate ballpark. That one inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. You know, naturally, there might be a college coach or 2 around if you're playing at Gardner-Webb University. Entricken getting some looks and officially announcing that commitment. I know he's thrilled for the opportunity to play at the Division I level. In at the knees, 2-2. Two-strike pitch from Noah. Got him! Burr strikes out. There's number 8.
Now batting number 28, Tyson Pennypacker.
So here is Pennypacker, who struck out to end the first inning. Quickly 2 away here in the fourth, a flyout and a strikeout. Entricken has grabbed 8 strikeouts in the ballgame. 7 of them have been swinging. He's got a ton of swing and miss from the bats, and there's another one spoken into existence there. 0-1 as Entricken climbs back to 86 with that fastball. Ahead in the count, 2 away. And another one, 0-2. Trying to get through this fourth in a hurry. It'll be Clase, Hart, and Entricken on the other side of the break once Noah can end this frame. No balls and 2 strikes. And he flies it home, high for a ball. If Pennypacker does reach, we'll see Steele Smith, the designated hitter for the Wolves. DSC looking to respond after a couple of losses yesterday and salvage this series. 1-2. Outside.
Somebody better out there, dude. What do you say now?
Entricken out of the windup. 2-2 pitch. And we are now full. So he was ahead 0-2, got a couple of swings and misses on the fastball. Pennypacker showing his patience, making Entricken throw to him. 3-2. And he missed the zone narrowly. Another 2-out walk for Noah. It's nitpicky, of course, with the way that the rest of his appearance has gone. He's pitched very well. But the one thing that has plagued him so far, and obviously with the 0 on the scoreboard, it hasn't hurt. The one thing that has plagued Entricken, 3 of his 4 innings, he has walked a hitter with 2 outs. Left-on-left matchup against Steele Smith, who takes a pitch right down the middle. It was dropped by Ritzma, but called a strike nonetheless. Entricken comes set at the chest. Runner on first, 2 away. Outside corner fastball, and he's once again ahead 0-2. The infield has not yet been tested this inning. Haven't gotten a ground ball since the second. Entricken trying to get it done at the plate here against Steele Smith, who he struck out looking his first time. He'll throw over to first before tossing home the 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes, 2 away here in the top of the 4th. And yet another throw. Standing up back is Pennypacker. Tyson Pennypacker had a walk-off and conceded a walk-off in the season series here against the Kingsmen. The winner last week, and then he gave up the solo home run to Harless yesterday. 0-2. Line drive left field, but foul. Hooking just to the foul side of third base. Oh and 2 is the count with the runner on first. And that ball nearly a foul tip strikeout, but it's just off the glove of Ritz, and it's a foul ball. Ritz couldn't squeeze it. See if he gets another opportunity here. Kingsman up 3-0, top 4, looking for the sweep against Dominion. 0-2. High for ball 1. This will be the last prospect game of the week. Then they'll go from one rivalry series to another, squaring off against P27 at Caramount Health Park in Gastonia for a 3-game set starting next week. And the varsity team will take on P27 right here at Gardner-Webb. A ball and 2 strikes. Struck him out looking. Every strikeout swinging except when he sees Steele Smith. That's now the second time Smith has struck out with the bat on his shoulder. We head to the 4th, the bottom of the 4th, that is. It is 3-0 here on the Kingsman Baseball Network.
Other defensive changes now in left field, number 22, Brandon Walton. Number 1, Gaines, now playing second base.
Back here in the bottom of the 4th, we have some changes to get to. The day is done for Will Hodges. He ran into a little bit more trouble than he did when he played the Kingsmen in Virginia. The bats got to him with a couple of big extra base hits and have scored 3 runs. He makes way for Owen Clement out of left field into the game to pitch. Meanwhile, in the field, Braden Walton moves to left. Nick Gaines to second. Leading off for the Kingsmen is Izzy Classe.
Leading up the Kingsman to the line of the fourth, number 20, Israel Classe.
Classe leading things off. Right-hand side, the switch hitter moving to the other side now with the left-hander on the mound. Owen Klimek making his first pitch of the game. And Classe hammers it third base side, but foul. He hit a ball hard his first time. Unfortunately for Izzy, it was right at the first baseman. He ended up reaching on a fielder's choice, but an out at the plate. Ryan Waters gunned down midway through that first inning that saw the Kingsmen take the early lead. 0-1. That one waved away from the hitter and the catcher to the backstop. It goes. Plenty of out-of-town scores to talk about. It's a busy Wednesday in the ABA. Games going on all across the divisions. Most of the games not starting until later, with the Kingsmen kicking things off early in the morning, 1-1. Now 2 balls and a strike. Starting with the Premier Division, 4 games today. Wellington Sports Academy and Eastern Carolina Academy. That game later on tonight in Goldsboro. PDG visiting Georgia Premier. That's a long road trip for the Generals. 2-1. And Classe hammers it into center. Straight away center, back goes Elrod, and Elrod has room to make the catch. Elsewhere in ABA Premier, it's a doubleheader in Lexington, South Carolina. A3 out of Florida comes up for a doubleheader at the Blowfish Stadium against P27. The Blacksmiths taking on A3 to wrap up the action for Premier today. Left-on-left matchup, Montgomery Hart, the hitter. He squared, pulled back, and the pitch was low for a ball. Prospect Division. We have a thriller going on right now in Goldsboro. Wellington Sports Academy, just as they are for Premier, are in town in Goldsboro to take on Eastern Carolina Academy. The Bobcats and the Gators off and running in that one. Third base side ground ball for Bullock. He throws on to get Montgomery Hart. Second ground out for Gubby. There are 2 away. Heading into the top of the 7th of that game, ECA had a 7-4 lead. They were up 3 runs going into the last inning. Wellington Sports Academy scored 3 to tie it up, and it is 7-7 in the bottom of the 7th. ECA trying to win it against the Gators of Wellington. First pitch to Hudson Entricken, outside corner, just missed it. It's a ball. Elsewhere in the Prospect Division, of course, we're right here right now with DSC and the Kingsmen. Then you have Central Point and A3. Central Point got a huge win yesterday. That game hasn't started. There's a ground ball from Entricken, third base side. Bullock up with it again, and the tag applied to end the inning. We will head to the 5th to wrap up the out-of-town scoreboard. Ray's Collegiate and Georgia Premier have a game this afternoon, and then Wellington Sports Academy and ECA a doubleheader. That first game in the bottom of the 7th right now, and then they'll play one more. We'll step aside and be back 5th inning after this as Entricken walks back to the mound on the Kingsman Baseball Network. Fifth inning here in Boiling Springs. Noah Entricken back on the mound for his fifth inning of work against 8, 9, 10. Walton, Klimek, Newsom. First pitch, a fastball in there for a called strike. Entricken is pitching some of his best baseball right now for the Kingsmen. Outside of a few walks, practically untouched in this ball game. Steps off to recompose himself before throwing the next pitch to Braden Walton, the left fielder now for DSC. It's 1-1, that one just off the inside corner. Walton struck out his first time. Just moved to left with the pitching change in the last inning for the Wolves. 1-1. And a swing and a miss to make it 1-2. DSC heading back up to Richmond tonight. About a 5-hour drive from here in Boiling Springs. There's a line drive, a hard hit ball foul. It bounces back toward the first base coaching box. It was unoccupied for a second. Here comes assistant coach Tyler Kane. He's out there now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Entricken looking to start the fifth inning red hot just like he has been. And it's outside, 2-2. He has 9 strikeouts in his starting pitching performance. One more would equal his tally for the most in an appearance since joining the Kingsmen. 2-2. And there is number 10. Foul tip into the glove of Mason Ritzema, and he held on strong that time. 1 out in the top of the 5th. And into double digits goes Noah Entricken. What a day.
Now batting for 24, Owen Klimek.
So here is Klimek, the pitcher who grounded to the first baseman his first time, chopped it to Seminara. Part of that 1-2-3 inning in the second. First pitch to Klimek. Curveball, just missed. Missed it outside. Interestingly, despite how locked down Entricken has been on the mound, he's only had 1-2-3 inning in this ballgame. Klimek bunting and popping it up. It's foul, 1-1. One and one, left on left matchup. Klimek bunted last pitch, and he takes ball 2 here. Two one, and it is low for a ball. Time called. Noah Entricken gonna get a chat from Coach Joe Hudak. The pitch count is rising for Noah through 4 1/3 here in Boiling Springs. See how much more Entricken has in him. Smiling out there on the mound with Coach Hudak. Ten strikeouts. He has walked 4, but with the efficiency outside of that, none of those runners have gotten any further than second base. The only runner to reach third was Jackson Milan, who reached on an error. 3 balls and 1 strike. Entricken is behind in the count to Owen Klimek with Christian Newsom on deck. And he misses high. That is a walk. They do appeal down, but the umpire, who is already starting to jog down to the middle of the infield, I think that was probably a telling sign of what the call was going to be on appeal.
Number 12, Christian Newsom.
So runner on first and still one away after another walk from Entricken. Swing and a miss against Christian Newsome, who also struck out his first time. Bottom of the order for DSC, and then Nick Gaines will come for the second time, or rather for the third. Out of the stretch, 0-1. And another swing and a miss. The whiff percentage is sky high today for Noah Entricken. DSC just has not been able to put the bat on the ball. The catcher digs in, runner on first, 0-2. And another foul ball off the glove of Ritzema, unable to squeeze it for the strikeout. Still has Newsome 0-2, Gaines on deck. 3-run ball game. There's a fly ball right field. Long run for Entricken. Hudson Entricken toward the foul line, makes the catch. And there are 2 away.
Now batting number 1, Nick Gaines.
Nick.
Breaking ball hit right back at Entricken, and he has the catch on the line drive. And the emotion out of the Kingsman starting pitcher to deny the base hit of Nick Gaines, who walks back to the dugout with the bat in hand. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Entricken through 5 here on the Kingsman Baseball Network. Bottom of the 5th here in Boiling Springs, 3-0 ball game. A score update for you from Goldsboro, North Carolina.
Kingsman number 4, Mason Ritzema.
The ECA Bobcats have walked off Wellington Sports Academy, 8-7. They recover from the blown save in the top of the 7th and win the ball game by a run. So final score 8-7 over there. as we come right back here. 3-0, Mason Ritzema takes a strike to start it off. Owen Klimek back on the mound in relief of Will Hodges. Noah Entricken through 5 on the other side. We'll see if he comes back out for the 6th. That fastball is high for a ball. Klimek out of the windup. Fastball inside, and it hits Mason Ritzema. He reaches for the 2nd time in a row. He's on first to start this 5th inning.
Now batting for 5, Anthony Seminara.
Mason Ritzema, with that hit by pitch, pulls back into a 3-way tie for most hit by pitches on the team. 7 this season, to be tied with Tristan Harless and Anthony Seminara, who, if I'm not mistaken, were both hit by a pitch in the 2nd game yesterday, and that's exactly right. So runner on first, nobody out for Anthony Seminara. Now, the funny thing would have been if he got hit right there and he took the lead right back. But the ball doesn't run that far inside. It's 1-0.
Normal sign.
The 5th inning has been kind to the Kingsmen. Time called by Coach Hudak. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Verbally telling Anthony Seminara what to do. And if you could hear that on the broadcast, you'd understand why Makai Bullock is now playing in on the grass. Seminara squares early. And they throw over to first, and Ritzema, or rather Catani, in to run for Ritzema, is just safe. Good move from Klimek.
Now running for the Kingsmen of relevant Landon Catani.
See if Seminara squares again here. And he does not. And Coach Hudak is beside himself.
I already gave you the sign.
1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out. The pitch from the lefty. Seminara gets out of the way, and Catani to second. 2-1 is the count. And now Catani in scoring position. So with the runner on second, Seminara may have escaped the wrath of the Kingsman manager. Runner in scoring position, nobody out. He chops one foul, 2-2. Seminara singled his first time on a hit to right field. Came around to score on the Tristan Harless triple 1 batter later. Those are the last runs that have been scored in this game. It has been scoreless since the 2nd. We're here in the bottom of the 5th. Two-strike pitch swung on and missed by Anthony Seminara. So Harless up with 1 down. Mentioned it a minute ago that the 5th inning has been kind to the Kingsmen in this series. Over the course of the 2 games, the Kingsmen have scored 10 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning. 6 in game 1 of the doubleheader yesterday and 4 in game number 2. So here's Tristan Harless, the hot bat for the Kingsmen. A home run and a triple in his last 2 at-bats. The triple to kick off today after the walk-off bomb in yesterday's contest. Batting out of the 9 hole, The DH digs in left-hand side against Klimek.
On you. Still there.
First pitch to Harless is ripped to the second baseman, fielded cleanly by Gaines, and they throw him out at first base. Another hard hit ball for Tristan Harless. Runner on third with 2 away for Ashton
Now
Bowes.
batting number 32, Ashton Bowes.
There's a swing and a miss on the changeup, 0-1. No sign of bullpen activity for the Kingsmen. No Entricken through 5, and while the pitch count is high, it looks like they may trot him out there in the 6th. Meanwhile, for DSC, there's a right-hander throwing in the pen. 0-1. Bowes again chasing, 0-2. Bowes struck out to end the 2nd, trying to avoid the same thing here in the 5th. Had a runner on third with 2 outs in that situation as well. 3-0 ball game. Bowes trying to make it 4. And that one outside. Catani scrambling back to third. You saw that ball bounce off the catcher's glove and got a pretty hefty secondary. Top of the order awaits the Kingsmen after Bowes. We'll see if McNeil gets a crack at things here in the 5th. Meanwhile, in the 6th, it'll be 2-3-4 for DSC. One and 2 to Ashton. And Bowes takes high of the zone for ball 2. Kingsmen just 6 outs away defensively from sweeping DSC. There's a ground ball, third base side, tough play for the shortstop. Long throw on a hop for Burr, and it's scooped out on a roll by the first baseman, Pennypacker. That denies the run for the Kingsmen. We head to the 6th inning, 3-0 it remains. Prospect Baseball returns after this on the Kingsman Baseball Network. Welcome back here to Kingsman Baseball, Prospect Baseball in the 6th inning, 3-0 against DSC. Noah Entricken done after 5 innings. He was on the mound, getting ready to warm up and come into the 6th. And Coach Hudak, in something that both myself and the folks here in the press box have never seen before, a mound visit before we even threw a pitch, and Coach Hudak removed Entricken from the game. They had a short conversation. Couldn't really tell if it was frustration from Entricken or just disappointment. But either way, he is out of the game, and Anthony Seminara is into the game to make his prospect pitching debut. He pitched on Monday against Grace Academy at the varsity level, a sort of trial run, if you will, to see if he was good to pitch, given the team was low on pitching coming into the series. And clearly, he passed the test. He's ahead 0-2 on Jackson Milan, who has reached both times he's been to the plate. He is the only member of the DSC Wolves batting lineup that can say that. 0-2 with nobody out. And it's high for a ball. Seminara didn't have much time to warm up. Went down to the bullpen at the start of Entricken's warm-up and then got called in. He couldn't have thrown more than a couple of pitches. 1-2. That's ripped down the line, and one hops off of the fence. Foul down the first base side. It's Milan, then Elrod, then Bullock. The meat of the order. So Seminara getting thrown right into the fire against these DSC hitters, and the Wolves looking for a spark after they just could not touch Entricken. 1-2. Ground ball, third base side. It is Hart up with it. Montgomery Hart, high throw, Bose with a tag, and safe the call. Another error on Montgomery Hart, his second of the game, and Milan has been the beneficiary both times. He's on as the leadoff man here in the 6th.
Now batting, number 15, Brady Elrod.
First pitch, squaring the bunt, pulling it back, Brady Elrod. After just one hitter, we see bullpen action down the line, and it is Harris Clark, who pitched in both games yesterday. Clark is headed to the bullpen to potentially pitch in his 3rd game in a row. Granted, he didn't throw a whole lot of pitches in either one of the 2 games in yesterday's doubleheader. But he threw a very important inning in the 2nd game in order to keep things tied and give Harless the opportunity for the walk-off home run. 2-0 to Elrod, and he fouls it off. So the line is over for Noah Entricken. 5 innings in the books. An excellent day on the mound. He threw 91 pitches, 56 of them were strikes. 5 walks, 10 strikeouts, no earned runs, no hits. There's a line drive left field. McNeil coming in on it, and it falls in front. So there is the first hit of the game for DSC. Brady Elrod singles off of Anthony Seminara, and there are runners on 2nd and 1st as the tying run comes up. That was off the end of the bat. McNeil came in initially, and it looked like he had a chance to make the play, but he pulled up to make sure it didn't get by him. So here's Mekhi Bullock as the tying run here in the 6th. Second and 1st, nobody out. Seminara trying to get his first out of the ball game. Drops in a curveball there at 65, and it's in there for a called strike. 0 for 1 today for Bullock. He had the home run yesterday. A walk and a fly out to right field. Hudson Entricken, who saw the ball come his way last time, is way over into the right center field gap. That ball hit to right again, but foul. 0-2. Seminara looking for a couple of big outs here to try to pick up his lefty starting pitcher. Oh, 0-2 is the count. Nobody out here in the 6th inning, and time called by the hitter. Jude Burr is on deck, and then Tyson Pennypacker. All three of them have walked and then been retired the other time through. The first time they're seeing somebody other than Noah Entricken. 0-2 from Seminara. Outside on the ball. One, two. That ball hit a mile high. Infield fly rule will be called here as Hart drifts into shallow center and makes the catch. That's a big out against a big bat as they get Bullock to pop it sky high. One away.
Now batting number 4, Jude Burr.
So Jude Burr the next to hit. Time run still at the plate for DSC in a 3-run ball game. No runs have been scored in the ball game since the 2nd inning. As we near the 2-hour point of this game here, top 6. That ball skied to right on top of Hudson Entricken. Takes a couple of steps and makes the catch. Seminara locking in now. Got a ground ball to start things off, but Milan reached on the error.
Now batting number 28, Tyson Pennypacker.
Elrod had a softly hit single, and since then, a pop out and a fly out. Here's Tyson Pennypacker. Seems to find himself up in a big spot. Tying run at the plate, 2 outs. Second to last inning here of this ball game. Seminara. Fastball at the knees. Velocity significantly down from Monday. And I would attribute that mostly, I'm sure, to the lack of time to warm up. That fastball came in at 78 after we'd seen most fastballs from him land in the low 80s. Again, 78 as he misses outside. Top of the order due up for the Kingsmen in the 6th. They'll look for a little bit more insurance, assuming they can hold on to the lead here. 1-1. And that's a breaking ball in there for a strike. 1-2. Seminara in his prospect pitching debut in relief of Noah Entricken. Got the Kingsmen through an inning on Monday at the varsity level. And now trying to finish off the 6th here for prospect. Foul ball. Steele Smith on deck if one more comes to the plate in the 6th. Seminara out of Bluffton, South Carolina. The right-hander stands tall atop the mound. 1-2 pitch. And the breaking ball not swung after by Pennypacker. 2-2. Infield of Class A, Hart, Beatrice, and Seminara. They'll be ready for anything. 2-2 pitch. Outside corner, did not get it. And a punch of the glove from Seminara, who thought he had strike 3. Now the runners will have a head start. Pennypacker, toe in the back of the box. Runners on first and second. 3-2. Poke to right field, chasing after it. Hudson Entricken. That ball is down. 1 run comes in to score. Charlie putting up the stop sign at third, and there are runners on the corners as the DSC Wolves find the scoreboard for the first time. Shutout over here in the 6th. It's 3-1.
Now batting number 10, Steele Smith.
2 out hitting to the opposite field for Tyson Pennypacker. And Milan scores from second. Here comes Coach Hudak. Seminara coming in the 6th inning for Noah Entricken. A unique spot because Entricken couldn't find his way into the 6th inning, came out to start warming up and then was pulled before a pitch was thrown. Didn't seem to be injury related, likely just due to the pitch count. 91 pitches for the Kingsman starter. Seminara didn't really even get the bullpen session going, and it's just a pep talk from Coach Hudak. Seminara will remain in the game to face Steele Smith, who has 2 looking strikeouts so far in the ballgame. This is the guy you want if you're Anthony Seminara. Both Smith and Braden Walton following are 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. Runners on the corners. The tying run is at first here in the 6th. Swing and a miss. 0-1. This series has had plenty of big moments, so many of them squished into yesterday's 2nd game. Today's game not without a little bit of drama after the fun of yesterday. Ground ball second base side, and Bose off of first to field. Seminara over to it, and he cannot get there. Another run comes in to score.
On the ground, Bubba. Hey, down 1.
Go, boys, got it.
Now batting for 22, Braden Walton.
So the run comes in to score. Makes that 3-2. Pennypacker, after the ball was dropped by Seminara hustling over from first, he moved over to third base. So runners are on the corner still with 2 outs, and Anthony Seminara's day is done. He did enough to get them out of the inning, and it's a pat on the back from Coach Hudak to show his appreciation. Seminara into a really tough spot. Got his team some ground balls, but the infield could not take care of the deal. Harris Clark is into the ball game. Ashton Bose also coming out. Seminara will come off the mound and head straight back to first. We will step aside and be back here in the 6th inning on the Kingsman Baseball Network.
Walton.
Braden Walton up to the plate here in the top of the 6th. Harris Clark is onto the mound for the 3rd game in a row. The Kingsmen trying to hold on to the lead. It's 3-2 here in Boiling Springs.
Hey, sit down.
Seminara back at first. He's holding on the runner. Harris's first pitch hit right back up the middle, and that will tie the ball game. Clark threw the first pitch fastball. It was hit right back up the middle. Braden Walton has given the Wolves the equalizer.
Now batting number 24, Owen Clinic.
So Clark welcomed into the game with a single. Now Klimek, the hitter. You got to get this guy if you're the Kingsmen. Tie ball game at 3. Still everything to play for. First pitch from Harris. And a ground ball to the shortstop side. Hart up with it. Flips it to second. They've got him with the fielder's choice to end the inning. 3 spot for DSC. We head to the bottom of the 6th. All knotted up here at Gardner-Webb. We'll be right back on the Kingsman Baseball Network.
McNeil.
It is the bottom of the 6th. We are all knotted up at 3. Thanks for joining us this afternoon in North Carolina, wherever you may be. Thanks for choosing Kingsman Baseball, the Academy. On the air here Wednesday afternoon baseball, Kingsman and DSC. A fun finish remains. Caden McNeil leads things off, tries to drag, and misses, taking strike 1. McNeil in the ball game is 1 for 2, a single and a ground out. Came in to score the Kingsmen's first run of the game. They had a 3-0 lead, but 3 in the top of the 6th for DSC. And knotted this game all even at 3 apiece. 0-1. McNeil takes strike 2. One at the bottom of the zone. Owen Klimek, in relief of Will Hodges, has pitched very well. It is McNeil, Waters, and Beatrice. Time called by McNeil. Caden for the prospect team, hitting .365 coming into today. Looking for his 21st hit of the spring. It's outside 1-2. On base percentage of exactly .500 coming into the ball game. And it remains there, so 1 for 2. One-two count. Ground ball third base side, hooking toward the line, and it is just foul. Bullock didn't have it cleanly, so he is happy that it was on the wrong side of the line. There are 3 qualified hitters on this Kingsman lineup that have an OPS up over 1,000. McNeil just under that mark, but the closest to it outside of the 3 of Curtis, Beatrice, and Hart. Okay, to McNeil, still behind 1 and 2. The pitch from Clement. Up the middle, coming over, Walton throws one hop to first, and it's by the first baseman and into the dugout. That was actually Gaines on the throw that skipped in front of the first baseman, Pennypacker, and McNeil is aboard and into scoring position.
Now batting, number 10, Ryan Waters.
So the go-ahead run is in scoring position for the Kingsmen here in the 6th. McNeil's on for the second time.
Let's go, Ryan.
Caden McNeil tried to steal third in yesterday's doubleheader. It's one of the 2 times all season that he has been caught stealing. He has a stolen base today, but it is first to second. We'll see what happens here with a left-handed hitter in the box. The corners are in. The middle infield shifted slightly over to the first base side of the infield. And a long look in at the plate for Clement. Maybe trying to see if Waters would square early. The infield is ready for the bunt. Ryan Waters has a triple and a walk so far in the ball game. Bat on the shoulder, and he takes strike 1 on the outside corner. Meat of the order up for the Kingsmen. If you're going to answer back, now's the time. Waters, Beatrice, Classe, and Hart, the next 4 hitters, with their speedster on second base and nobody out. Only 4 hits for each team, 3 runs from them. Waters squaring on the 0-1. Klimek fires home, and Waters gets the bunt down. Klimek will go to first, and he lobs it over, not in time. Klimek with the double clutch. He went to third first. McNeil was there. He turned to first, and the throw didn't have enough mustard on it. It's a base hit for Ryan Waters, and runners are on the corners. Fifth hit of the game for the Kingsmen. The go-ahead is on third. They have runners on the corners for Owen Beatrice. Will Hodges has been his kryptonite. 2 strikeouts today. He's up against Klimek now. And it's a foul tip, strike number 1. Beatrice struck out looking to end the third. That was the last hitter that Will Hodges faced in this one. He was in line for the loss. His team has clawed him back to a tie game, but the Kingsmen trying to get the advantage back. Beatrice behind 0-2. Hitting .450 this season. The team leader in home runs, hits, and RBI. He has 33 ribbies on the year. Looking for one more. Outside, ball 1. After Owen, Israel Classe awaits his chance. All knotted up at 3. The Kingsmen trying to retake the lead here after DSC scored 3 runs in the top of the 6th. 1-2 is the count. The pitch from the lefty. Runner on the move, and a ball lifted into shallow right. Long run coming in on it is Milan. That ball falls foul. Milan covered a ton of ground, but never made an effort to catch the baseball. Waters retreats to first. McNeil, who's ready to tag, retreats to third, and Beatrice picks the bat back up with one more try. Owen Klimek here in his third inning of work in relief of Hodges. Pitching to Beatrice. 1-2. Ground ball up the middle. The second baseman tags Waters, throws to first in time. Can you believe it? The run scores to give the Kingsmen the lead, but one of those that everything just lined up perfectly. The runner was on the move, and at the exact moment that Nick Gaines fielded the baseball, Waters was diving into second, so he applied the tag and threw out Beatrice at first. Impressive work from Nick Gaines. The run does score, and it is 4-3. Izzy Classe check swing foul ball, 0-1. So the Kingsmen are 3 outs away from winning this ball game. With runners on the corners and nobody out, I think they would have wanted to try and get more than one. The bases are clear, but they do still have the opportunity to do so. See if Harris Clark comes out to start the 7th. There's no bullpen action for the Kingsmen. 0-1. That's inside. Harris has 1 save this season. He's making his 10th appearance pitching in this game. 1 for 2 in save opportunities this year. 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Harris also pitched toward the end of the game in what would typically be a save situation, but because the Kingsmen ended up walking things off, he got credit for the win in that ball game. 1-2. And now 2 balls and 2 strikes. If Classe reaches for the first time since his fielder's choice, we'll see Montgomery Hart. Two strikes for Klimek. And Classe rung up on the low and away corner for strike number 3. The Kingsmen retake the lead in the 6th. 3 outs away from the sweep. And we'll see if they can get it done. Harris Clark to the mound for the 7th when we come back on the Kingsmen Baseball Network.
DSC, the top of the 7th, number 5, Peyton Mills.
Top of the 7th. The Kingsmen trying to finish off Dominion Sports Collective for the third game in a row. Christian Newsome is out of the game, and Peyton Mills, the backup catcher, getting the pinch hit opportunity against Harris Clark. First pitch behind him. Peyton Mills caught game 2 of the doubleheader yesterday. He was 1 for 3, then was substituted out for Newsome for his last at-bat. Newsome was 0 for 2, and Mills getting the call. 1-0. Fastball high, just high of the zone at 81, 2 balls and no strikes. The top of the order awaits us after Mills is done at the plate. No bullpen action for the Kingsmen right now. Harris Clark looking for the save. 2-1. An outside corner fastball. He zipped it in there to get in the strike column. 3 outs away from victory. The Kingsmen would move to 11-3 with a win. Swing and a miss. It's 2-2. Kingsman prospect team off until next week. They play a home 3-game series against their Carolina rivals in P27 next week. 2-2 with nobody out. And that's inside on Peyton Mills, and a leadoff hit by pitch puts them in on first. Mills was crowding the plate a little bit. That ball was inside, but it wasn't as inside as a couple of the pitches we've seen today, but Mills right there to take the hit. And it's Nick Gaines at the top of the order now for the Kingsmen, or rather for the Wolves. Seminara holding on Peyton Mills. First pitch, hammered foul by Nick Gaines, who is 0 for 3. Lined the ball right back at Noah Entricken to end the 5th inning. That was the last that we saw of Entricken in the game. A courtesy runner here for DSC. Braden Jacoby into the game to run. So a courtesy runner at first, a little bit more speed than the catcher would typically have. And it is 0-1 for Nick Gaines. Ground ball, back to the pitcher. Clark to second. Hart to first. Double play! The composure from Harris Clark to not rush that throw coming off the mound. And it's a double play to put the Kingsmen an out away from victory. Clark on the mound for his 3rd game in a row, looking for the save against Jackson Milan and the Wolves. First pitch. Outside, just missed the corner. Tristan Harless was throwing temporarily in the pen. He is now walking back to the dugout. This is Harris's ball game. 1-0 out of the windup. Ground ball foul. The Kingsmen were swept 2 weeks ago in Virginia by the same DSC team. Couple of close ball games, and then they were blown out in the last game of that series. Looking to answer the challenge and sweep the Wolves right back here at Gardner-Webb. 1-1. Ground ball, a high chopper. Clase with it. Throws off his back foot, and Milan is safe with an infield single. That ball hit a mile high, bouncing straight off the ground and up into the air. Brady Elrod will come up with the tying run aboard. Elrod had a single, the first hit of the game. Coach Hudak walking out to chat with Harris Clark, first confirming that he had the mound visit. Let's talk tomorrow for the Kingsmen. KBA Varsity will be on the air on the road. Durham, North Carolina, the site of 2 games between the Kingsmen and Pro 5. Pro 5, one of the teams out of the resurrected NAA, the old Academy League that many of the ABA's teams come from. Pro 5 in the same league as the Bennett School, the team that the Kingsmen played in Houston 1 week ago. We'll have 2 games for you on the Kingsman Baseball Network. I'll be down there, or rather, I guess, up there with the team tomorrow. Should be some good competitive baseball beginning at 1 o'clock in Durham. After that, the team will have the weekend off, Easter break. Monday, Thursday, tomorrow, Good Friday, the day after. The Kingsmen looking to make this a good Wednesday. 1 out away and a 1-run game. Tying run aboard. Clark's first pitch to Elrod, runs inside. One ball, no strikes, runner on the move. In the dirt, Ritzema, no chance to throw out Jackson Milan, who is now in scoring position with the stolen base. 2 balls and no strikes, a hitter's count for the center fielder. Mekhi Bullock is on deck if DSC gets one more batter. 5 hits either side. It's been a defensive battle. 4-3, the Kingsmen clinging to the lead. 2-0. High for ball 3. A hit by pitch, then a double play. 2-out infield single extended this ball game, and Elrod trying to make things even tougher for Harris Clark and the Kingsman defense. See if he has the 3-0 green light. Took ball 4. Mekhi Bullock, dangerous hitter at the plate.
Number 3, Mekhi Bullock.
The tying and go-ahead runs are on base for Dominion Sports Collective. Mekhi Bullock is 0 for 2 today, a walk, a fly out, and a pop out after he had his big game yesterday. Clark pitching to Bullock, stare down at second, and the throw home. High for a ball. That's 5 in a row off the plate. Bullock with the big fly yesterday. The only opposing hitter to hit a home run against the Kingsmen in this ballpark. 1-0. And Bullock wears it. The bases are loaded for Jude Burr. The drama continues to build here. Mentioned it a minute ago, but Tristan Harless was very briefly warming up in the bullpen. The bullpen is empty right now. Harris Clark looking for what would be the win after the Kingsmen got the run in the bottom of the 6th. Out of the windup against Burr. First pitch, ripped to left and into left field. McNeil fields. The throw is into the cutoff man. Clase fires home, 2-run score. DSC has the lead in the 7th. They were aggressive with the send. Milan scored easily. And then Brady Elrod flying around second scores to make it a 5-4 ball game. There didn't seem to be a whole lot of urgency on that relay, at least initially. So it is a lead for DSC here, and Tyson Pennypacker at the plate next. First pitch outside. Clark looking at the dugout after that fastball. Coach Hudak walking out to the mound. Maybe Clark felt something after that pitch. And Ryan Waters immediately getting the point. I think he's going to come in out of center field and try to get the Kingsmen out of this inning. Harris Clark pitching in his 3rd game in a row. The Kingsmen already low on pitching, asking for everything that the remainder of their staff has. And Clark gave it everything he had, but DSC found a big hit. We'll step aside for a pitching change here in the inning. 5-4 in the 7th. So here we are in the 7th inning. Some more drama to be had here in this DSC series. Thanks for joining us here today on the Kingsman Baseball Network. The Kingsmen will be looking for a big win, but they'll have to do it from behind. It's 1-1, or 0-1, or 1-1, excuse me. It is 1-1. Getting our bearings here. Ryan Waters is on the mound, came out of center field in relief of Harris Clark. There's a ground ball foul, 1-2. So the new outfield for the Kingsmen. Hudson Entricken in left. Katie McNeil moves to center, and Tristan Harless is in off the bench to play right. The Kingsmen have used every inch of their allotment as far as pitching staff goes. Entricken threw 91 pitches through 5. They've since used 2 position players and a pitcher throwing his 3rd game in a row. Spin pick to second. Waters just keeping the runner honest. It's a 1-run game. 2-run single from Jude Burr gave DSC its first lead of the ball game. They had not led. And that ball slashed down the line, and it is fair and into the corner. 1 run comes in to score. Entricken fields bare hands. Here comes the 2nd run, and it's a 2-out, 2-run double for Tyson Pennypacker as DSC now leads by a score of 7-4. The Kingsmen so close to wrapping up this ball game. Stretched to their limit. But the big innings coming at the worst time. It's now a 3-run game. Waters pitching to Steele Smith, just trying to end the half inning, and a balk has been called. Waters did not come set prior to throwing that fastball.
Got it, Ryan.
Out of the windup now. Waters sees a foul ball lifted off the bat of Steele Smith. So the Kingsmen are going to need a comeback in the bottom of the 7th. It'll be Montgomery Hart, Hudson Entricken, and Mason Ritzma, 5, 6, 7. The 3 that will try to get things done. 0-1. Again, pop foul.
Ryan, one more, bud.
Two strikes. The appeal down to the base umpire. No swing. One, two. And Waters spikes it again. The runner not moving. Pennypacker at third. The count is now 2-2. So Pennypacker, after surrendering the walk-off home run on the mound yesterday, finds himself in a position where he just gave the Wolves some cushion. A two-run double, 2-2. And another foul ball. Steele making Ryan Waters work for this out. Harris Clark started off the inning on the mound. Got two big outs on a ground ball double play, but then a single, a walk, a hit by pitch, and then the single to give the lead to DSC. Another 2-2. And a ground ball second base side. Owen Beatrice has it on a knee, throws to first, and the inning is over. Big inning for DSC. The Kingsmen down 3 runs after a 4 spot from the visitors. They'll need a big inning in response if they're to win this ball game. We'll come right back in the bottom of the 7th, the Kingsman Baseball Network. Welcome here to the bottom of the 7th. The Kingsmen looking for a rally, and it's going to start here with Montgomery Hart. Left-on-left matchup. Klimek's first pitch of the 7th is high for a ball. This is the 4th inning of work out of the bullpen for Owen Klimek in relief of Will Hodges. The Kingsmen got to the DSC ace, but they haven't been able to scratch much across recently. Grabbed 1 in the 6th. A 2-0 count could help things here. They surrendered 4 in the top of the 7th. Harris Clark, in his 3rd game in a row pitching, I think just ran out of gas. Ended up getting pulled with some discomfort in the arm. 3-0. That ball ran inside on Hart. He was not hit by the baseball. Stretch there in the 7th with the Kingsmen 1 out away from victory, where 5 runners in a row, or rather 5 hitters in a row, reached base. But the win is still there for the taking if they can find an offensive spark. 3-0 to Montgomery Hart. Klimek rides it inside, and Hart throws the bat at the Kingsman dugout.
Now batting number 23, Hudson Entricken.
Time called. Assistant coach Tyler Kane out to chat with Owen Klimek. They've had bullpen movement for a while for DSC. Zane Ortiz has been warming up for a little while. He pitched in game 1 of the series. That 13-4 win for the Kingsmen. 13-4 win in game 1 of the doubleheader. They won it by a final score of 7, or rather, I guess if we can do the math here, 9-8. You know, it's been a little bit since I've had a math class in school. I'll admit that. Regardless, the win for the Kingsmen yesterday, walk-off fashion. Runner on first, Hudson Entricken, the next in line. Klimek's first pitch. Down in the dirt. Hart will have to be careful on the base paths. The last thing the Kingsmen need here, chasing a 3-run deficit, would be an out at any base but home. 1-0. And now 2 balls and no strikes. 6 balls in a row for Owen Klimek to start this 7th inning. Zane Ortiz looks ready down in the bullpen, just watching from the edge of the fence line. 2-0. Entricken digs in, but not before a toss over to first. Hart is back standing up. Two-0. Outside again. 3 balls and no strikes. The door creaking open here in the bottom of the 7th. Owen Klimek started this game in left field. Came in the bottom of the 4th. Just 1 run in the 3 innings against him for the Kingsman bats. 3-0. Got it down into the zone. 3-1. Klimek taking a second to compose himself. Entricken ahead 3-1. And he takes a strike. It is 3-2. Entricken making Klimek pitch to him. Looking for his first hit of the ball game. A lot of chatter coming from the infield. DSC looking for the comeback victory. 3-2. Outside and a walk. Klimek nearly comes all the way back, but loses Hudson Entricken, and the tying run coming to the plate in Mason Ritzma.
Now batting number 4, Mason Ritzma.
Ortiz once again tossing down the right field line. Ritzma, the left-handed catcher, has reached both times he's been at the plate today, a walk and a hit by pitch. Would love to get the tying run on here with nobody out. First pitch. And Ritzma takes it straight down the heart of the plate, 0-1. A reminder, we'll be back with Kingsman varsity baseball tomorrow in Durham, North Carolina against Pro 5, 1 o'clock first pitch on the East Coast in game 1 of that doubleheader. 0-1. Outside, the ball is called by the home plate umpire and the count is even. It's Ritzma, Seminara, Harless, and Bose. The bottom 4 will look to help the Kingsmen back into things here in another back-and-forth ball game. 1-1. Ritz grounds at second base side. Long run for, that's Gaines, and he throws on to first to get the important first out. That ball chopped high enough for Gaines to cover the ground between his starting position in the infield and where that ball ended up. But the second baseman has out number 1, and it's Seminara with runners on second and third. They'll need some production from their first baseman.
Let it go. Go 5.
Seminara has a base hit in today's ball game. He slapped it to right field. Tying run at the plate. First pitch from Klimek. And Seminara hunts it, comes up empty down in the dirt, 0-1. Tristan Harless is on deck. A huge series for Harless. Oh, 1. Seminara cranks it to short. The play is made by the shortstop Burr. He throws on to first for out number 2. 1 run comes in to score to make it 7-5, but the Kingsmen still need production here. 2 away, down to their final out. Tristan Harless
Now batting number 16, Tristan Harless.
The tying run is at the plate. Harless, in yesterday's game, showed that he can step up when the lights are bright. What can he do here against the lefty Klimek? First pitch. High of the zone for a ball. If Harless reaches, we'll see Ashton Bowes in the 10 spot. 2-out rally. Trying to form for the KBA. 1-0 pitch. Inside it hit Harless. Second hit by pitch of the inning. The tying run is aboard here in the 7th inning.
Now batting number 32, Ashton Bowes.
Come on out.
Coach Hudak, similarly to what we saw yesterday, calls the team over for a quick meeting. Meanwhile, the catcher will trot out. That's the catcher Newsome, out to have a chat with his left-hand arm. Klimek has pitched 3 2/3 today, looking for 1 more out. Ashton Bowes trying to extend this ball game and give the Kingsmen a chance here. They have the tying run at first base. 1 run already up on the board, but they need at least 2 more. Left on right matchup. Big moments here at Boiling Springs. First pitch. And it is on the outside corner to Ashton Bowes for a called strike. In yesterday's game, Ashton Bowes hit a monster of a double into the left center field gap. Looking to do something like that here. 0-1. And that is high, uncompetitive on that fastball, and the count is even. If the lineup turns over, Caden McNeil would hit for the 4th time. He has reached 2 of the 3 times that he has been up to the plate. 1-1 is the count. Pitch to Bowes, and he takes it high again. Going to make Klimek come to him. Once again, in the bullpen, Zane Ortiz has stopped throwing. He has been warming up off and on over the last 2 innings, but has not come into this game in relief of Klimek. 2-1 the count. And a foul ball sawed off the end of the bat from Bowes. Coach Hudak just telling him, stay back. The Kingsmen down to their final strike here in the series finale against DSC. They were an out away from winning. Now trying to fend off DSC here in the bottom of the 7th, and it's an inside fastball called strike 3 as DSC finishes off the comeback and strands the tying runs on base. Goes down looking to wrap up the ball game. As that does it for the series. Final score 7-5.
Please drive home
The
safely.
Kingsmen win the series 2-1, but drop the final game. They're oh so close to wrapping things up in game number 3. The final time that these two teams will play in the regular season. But two good ball clubs and tend to find their way back to one another once we get to the postseason. We'll see if the Kingsmen and DSC square off in May. But that will do it for coverage here from Bill Masters Field at Gardner-Webb University. Final score 7-5. DSC gets the job done in the last one against the Kingsmen. We'll be back tomorrow for varsity baseball in Durham. Until then, have a great day. Thanks for joining us. I'm Griffin Leonard saying so long here on the Kingsman Baseball Network.